Turning 18 is a lot different from what I imagined it would be. Because I had always thought that once I reached 18, the amount of things that I've done by that point and the amount of thinking I would have done would make like everything in life just kind of make sense. And now that I actually have time on my hand before jumping right into another academic pursuit, no. Not a lot of things make sense right now. I'm quite confused and quite scared and nervous of my future, what I want in life, and rather confused about what do I actually even know about myself. And this question just kind of hit me now because, well, before I turned 18, I was focused on completing high school, and that was a lot of pressure, trying to get into university, applying for different college universities, trying to go abroad. And now that there's this little gap period between just finishing up high school and then this, waiting for the time to move to a whole different country and be on my own and discover myself and do university stuff, I kind of realized that I don't know anything at all really about myself. Like, I know what I like, I guess, but even that is a bit more nuanced because a lot of the times I would just listen to an album just fresh out, which is my hobby. I like listening to music. And I would be very conflicted on how I actually feel about it, subconsciously too, because part of my brain would just start to kind of convince myself that, yeah, this album is great, even though I never enjoy an album the first time I listen to it. But my brain would kind of force me to say that, yeah, I like the album as a whole, simply because, well, most of the stuff I pick are actually stuff that are quite popular and respected. And even that has a problem with it because then I actually don't know if I like the art for what it is, or simply because I want to be pretentious and brag to my friends that, yeah, I have a pretty niche hobby. Nothing about me that makes sense to me as of right now. And the uncertainty just doesn't stop with just me either. I went into this business school, but that's not what I would imagine me in my ideal life do for the rest of my life. That's not my real passion, it's a comfort thing to do. And I have all these fears, all this nervousness about go studying abroad all on my own with no friends at all and no guardians, just be truly free for myself. This same freedom that I've craved so many times as a kid. Every time I argue with my parents, argue with my teacher, just feeling down and glumpy, I would just think about having the true freedom for myself. And now that this freedom is a less than 10 days away from me, I I'm scared. Part of me is very excited for it, but part of me just don't want it. I It's very hard to say, but low key, I regret going traveling abroad simply because of how afraid of it I am. I've never been the best. I've never been the most social person in the world, but it's not like I was a complete socially anxious person. I can hold a conversation of my own with a stranger well enough. And I do chores around the house. I cook, I clean, I can do groceries on my own too. But the thought of having to handle all of that on its own, the moment I step foot in Japan, all that would just suddenly come rain all down on me at the same time. The thought of that is unbearable. It's quite eating me alive inside. And this comes down to one singular question. Am I not ready to turn 18 yet and face the freedom that it has to offer? And at times, to be frank, I felt incompetent. I felt like I was stupid for not knowing how to figure it out. Like, a lot of people go studying abroad all the time. A lot of people live on their own at this age already. But I can't handle that. Am I just simply too stupid, too incompetent compared to the rest of people around my age? And this internal struggle just kind of made even worse by being the last person in my friend group to study abroad and be independent. All of my other friends have studied abroad. They have made pretty stable social lives for themselves. Some more closed in than others, but that's completely up to their own comfort. They have their own priorities, and they are set out to live as comfortably as they see it. But for me, I want to get to know people, and I don't know if I have the courage to kind of just strike up a conversation with a stranger. And I'm not like my friends in the sense, in the means that I don't have uh, a company to live with me. I don't have a roommate. I don't have any acquaintances in Japan, so it'll just be me on my own, kind of learning on myself to adapt to something. But I've been trying to deal with this mindset, you know, and I think that some of the people who are watching this, some of you can also relate to this struggle of my feeling that you're inadequate compared to other people surrounding you, and having this fear that you're less than everyone else and you just simply can't adapt to the new lifestyle that's going to face you once you reach a certain mark in your point in your life. Either that be like once you hit an age, or just and then there's a certain moment that you realize that there are certain skills that you have that other people have that you just simply don't have. And to that, I think I have two things to say. First things first, it would be that no one is gonna be able to have every skill in the world. Certain skill that you have, other people definitely probably won't have. Quite the ironic wording there. And of course, vice versa, the skills that other people have, you might not have it. And that's just a natural course of things. You can definitely try to attain every skill that you see in other people that you deem to be pretty important. You can try and try and try, but there's not a complete guarantee that you'll achieve it, even if you try. But that doesn't mean like don't try, because well, if you don't try, then you're just gonna fail it completely. But if you do try, there's a very high chance, much higher chance than if you don't try, that you actually succeed in what you set out to do. And second of all, well, to be really bad at something, to suck at something, and then to know that you suck at it, I believe that would be the first step in in a staircase of becoming really fucking good at doing something. Yeah, so the first step of the stair, people always say like the first step is always the hardest one, because that's where you don't really know how to walk yet. So it's good that you see yourself being suck at something. You recognize that you're dog shit at something, because that means that you know that there's room for improvement, and there definitely will be improvement once you put your mind to it. You keep working towards that thing, you keep being suck at it, and every time that you fail, you get a little bit better. Things would turn out for the better, probably, hopefully. Yeah, that's just about all the thoughts I've been having, as I have a few more days left until I leave my country and go be all on my own in a foreign country where I don't speak the language of, with by myself too. So it's a bit scary on that, but nothing I can do now. The dice is cast, I guess. That's about it. See ya.